सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम्
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम्
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम्
आलयं करुणालयम्
आलयं करुणालयम्
नमामि भगवत्पाद
नमामि भगवत्पाद
शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्।
शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्
शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम्
शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यम्
केशवं बादरायणम्
केशवं बादरायणम्
सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे
सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे
भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः।
भगवन्तौ पुनर्पुनः।
ॐ सहना भवतु
ॐ सहना भवतु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सहनौ भुनक्तु
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
सह वीर्यं करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु
मा विद्विषावहै।
मा विद्विषावहै।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
And verses 16, 17 and 18 आप मेरे साथ साथ पीछे।
राइट।
नासतो विद्यते भावः
नासतो विद्यते भावः
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
नाभावो विद्यते सता
सतः
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 नासतो विद्यते भावः
नासतो विद्यते भावः
नाभावो विद्यते सतः
नाभावो विद्यते ततः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः
उभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः
नासतो विद्यते भावः नाभावो विद्यते सतः
उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
उभयोरपि दृष्टो अन्तः स्वतन्योस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
दृष्टोऽन्तः
दृष्टोऽन्तः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
त्वनयोस्त्वत्वदर्शिभिः
तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
दृष्टोऽन्तः
दृष्टोऽन्तः
त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः
अविनाशि तु तद्विद्धि
अविनाशी तु तद्विद्वि
येन सर्वमिदं ततम्
येन सर्वमिदं ततं
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
कश्चित् कर्तुं
कश्चित् त्वं तुर्
कश्चित्
कश्चित्
कर्तुमर्हति
ओहो कर्तुमर्हति
Excellent, very good.
Sorry.
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
विनाशमव्ययस्यास्य न कश्चित् कर्तुमर्हति
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
युध्यस्व
युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत
Very good. Excellent.
Sorry.
Not at all, not at all. Priyanka, can you do the 18th verse by yourself?
Yes, Sipiji.
I just want to hear your Mahapran.
अन्तवन्त इमे देहाः नित्यस्योक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो प्रमेयस्य तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत.
Okay. Bharata, that bha, a little more emphasis.
भारत
Good, good.
तस्माद्युध्यस्व भारत.
Better. Good. Great. So we will continue. Thank you, everyone. We have seen 17th verse yesterday. The topic has started from 16th verse, where we saw that whatever is of the nature of Sat can never go out of existence, can never disappear, has no destruction, has no nash, has no abhav. Abhav means na hone ka bhav, ki hai nahi. That experience will never happen. Such a thing that is always there, irrespective of anything any time, any pace, place, any condition, any avastha, Sat is always there. The student or the seeker of knowledge wants to really know what is then Sat. The definition becomes intellectually appreciable. That which is always there. But that which is always there is more of a thought for us to be able to understand what is always there. जिसका कभी अभाव नहीं होता वो तो लक्षण हो गया उसका. That which will never go out of disappear, it will never go out of being. It will always be there. Contrary to that, असत is something, उसको कहते हैं असत, जिसका भाव हो ही नहीं सकता. कभी नहीं. No time, no space, no causation. These are statements of facts. These are statements of fact with reference to hona, being. That, what is it? How do you understand Sat and how do you understand Asat? That whole Sampradaya explained it by identifying the Lakshana, that whatever is Asat, first and foremost, because it is not independently existent, it has a dependent existence, it is a Karya, it has Vyatireka, it has Prak Abhav, Pradvamsa Bhav, Abhav, Pradvamsa Abhav. It is experienced, but not always. Sat can only be identified by Lakshana. Asat also by Lakshana, but it is everyday experience to be discerned and to be cleansed. जिसको हमने सत माना है, दुनिया को सत माना है, what we are calling as real, what is its true nature? What is its true nature? If you remember, go back. If anybody has remembered the definition of Atma that we saw in Tattvabodh, does anybody remember other than what I'm showing now?
स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीर व्यतिरिक्त पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद स्वरूपः.
Wonderful. Very good. And there was one verse which was quoted. Good.
That is on the screen, no? Atma satyam tadanyat sarvam mithyati. Apart from this.
Yeah. Apart from this. We'll just come to it. But excellent. Very good. I presume most of us know that. We saw the words there. What is Sat? Sat is Satyam. That alone is truth. सत्य भाव है. भाव एज इन होने का भाव है. वो सत्य है. एग्जिस्टेंस को लेके सत्य है. बट आई एम देयर. दैट इज माई फाइनल ट्रूथ. दैट इज आत्मा. आत्मा सत्यम. तत् anyat, everything other than that. Sarvam, all. Mithya iti, know it to be mithya. Understand it as mithya. In the 16th verse, the same thing Krishna has said as Na sato vidyate bhavaha na bhavo vidyate sataha. The asat has no bhav. That which has no bhav, what is experienced, sarvam, everything, is mithya. Atma alone is satyam. What was Atma? Here we defined it with the help of, at that time I said there is only Linga Puran, but the same quote Shankaracharya has mentioned in Kathopanishad. The verse which says Paranchi Khani, all human body is designed in such a way that our senses are all externally oriented. Bahar dekhte hain, Paranchi Khani. We saw it in fair details. Eyes move outward. Ears are tuned outward. Smell is out of its source. The direction is out. Bahar dekhte hain. They gain knowledge of the objects respectively outside. They are not capable of seeing, of knowing the inside of the senses, inner to the senses. इंद्रियों के अंदर की अवस्था इंद्रिय से नहीं जान सकते. Even mind cannot be known by the senses. Can you know your feelings through your eyes? Can you hear your feelings? How interesting it would be. Supposing I can hear your feelings. What is going in your mind? Over here you're all saying ha 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 ha. And in your mind I know what you're thinking because I can hear your thought. There is no way the inner to the senses can be known by the senses. Even mind cannot be known. Then where is the question of knowing the Atma? And what is that Atma? That word has to be very clear to us. Yat cha apnoti, yat adatte, yat cha atti, davalta, vishayan iha, yat cha asya santataha bhavaha tasmat atma iti kirtyate. In the Smritis it is called like that. What is it? Whatever pervades the world. What is verse 17? Vyapakaha tatam idam jagat. What is that with which the world is pervaded? Yat cha apnoti, apnoti, vyapnoti, व्याप्त है, जिससे जगत व्याप्त है. एग्जाम्पल, क्ले एंड पॉट. पॉट किससे व्याप्त है? क्ले से व्याप्त है. ऑर्नामेंट किससे व्याप्त है? गोल्ड से व्याप्त है. There is no part of ornament which is not gold. There is no pot which is clay pot which is not clay. Sarvam idam tatam, 17th verse. Avinashi tu tat vidhi. Know that Atma, which is Avinashi, which is Mithya, which is the source of Mithya, which is Satyam, Atma, which is Satyam, that which pervades, Yat cha apnoti. Tatam, Sarvam idam. Connected to 17th verse. Tatam sarvam idam. Pervades everything here. Yat cha adatte. It is something which starts to receive, as if the experience is received. It's the pure experiencer, the real experiencer, in the presence of which it receives the world, it receives the interaction, it receives the experience, in the light of which it is received. Like, for example, when you throw a torch on an object, in a dark room, there is a torchlight thrown in the object. Who received the object? Where in only the context of not the person, the torch and the object. Just the torchlight and the object. Object is not seen in a dark room. The torchlight, suddenly you have a light, it's switched on. Object is revealed. To whom? Who received the object? That who receives the object सारे पदार्थों को अपने में ग्रहण कर लेता है without it getting affected. Space and all the objects. Where are all the objects? Correct. Torch receives the object. In the context, torch receives the object. Only up to that line. Yes, the torch light receives the object. In the space when all the excuse me, all the objects are placed, who is receiving the objects with reference to space? Where are the objects placed? कहाँ है?
In the space.
In space. Who is the one जो ग्रहण कर रहा है इनको?
Space.
Space. जो सारे पदार्थों को means all this व्यवहारिक दुनिया, everything, not just the waking, everything, जो ग्रहण कर रहा है, ले रहा है. Not just that, yaccha atti. Atti means bhogna, experiencing it, अनुभव करना है. Atti. It's like enjoying it. खा के जो enjoy करते हैं, भोगना. Who's the one who's enjoying the world? Vishayan iha, all these vishayas, these objects over here. Yat cha asya santataha, the one which is always, जिसकी सत्ता निरंतर बनी है, always existing. In the form of bhavaha, santataha bhavaha. It is always there. Tasmat, therefore, atma, iti, kirtyate, it is called atma. What are all things that you have seen? Apnoti, adatte, atti, atti, vishayan, iha, cha asya, and is there, santataha bhavaha. All is atma. Atma is sat. Everything else is mithya. Call it anatma, mithya. Another we saw, abadhyatvam satyatvam. Satyam is that which has no negation. Abadhyatvam, जिसको बाधित नहीं किया जा सकता. You cannot negate it. जिस चीज को तुम negate नहीं कर सकते, हटा नहीं सकते, destroy नहीं कर सकते, हिला नहीं सकते, बिगाड़ नहीं सकते, बढ़ा नहीं सकते, घटा नहीं सकते. You cannot touch it. Abadhyatvam, which can exist by itself, abadit. वो क्या है? वो सत्यम है. How did we see it? What is that unnegatability, which is the characteristic of Satyam? So Satyam conveyed that it is real and it exists. What does not exist at all was Tuchyam. Tuch, like horns of the rabbit, Shashashringavat. So your understanding of the world is in 3 words. Satyam, Mithya, Tuchyam. In the 16th verse, Asat could be taken as Tuchyam, non-existent, because by word it can mean that. But with the help of the Sampradaya, with the help of the teaching, we understand that Asat there means Mithya and not Tuchyam, because if it were to mean Tuchyam, then it has absolutely no significance at all to teach. Sat Satya, Asat Satya, इसमें क्या पढ़ाना किसी को, क्या बताना? सबको पता चलना चाहिए अपने आप से. You don't need a knowledge for it. So Mithya Anveshanam means understanding deeply. How, when do you know that you've understood it well? Anybody can answer this? In the context of Mithya and Satyam. And we'll do Mithya. If you've understood Mithya well, how will you know that you've understood it well? अच्छे से समझ में आ रहा है, आ गया है. तब कहोगे कि अच्छे से अब समझ आ गया. Anyone?
Everything we understand as Satyam is actually Mithya, because we cannot experience Satyam, which is only Atma. We don't experience it. So whatever I think today is Satyam is Mithya. And what is unreal would fall in Tuchyam.
Correct. So what really is, how will you know that your understanding is clear? And just one correction, a little. Atma is experienced even now, just not recognized. When it doesn't affect you, okay? Correct? When do you know that your understanding of Mithya is complete, fairly complete? One of the Lakshanas is that Mithya is of the nature of the world. If you've understood it well, it has less impact on you. It doesn't affect you as much as when you see it as real. Will that not be it?
So we won't experience Sukh and Dukh.
You will experience them, but
Vyavahar will be less impact. It will not
Vyavahar-
have impact. It will not have an impact. Like whatever the baggage will have lesser impact on the mind.
right. When you know that your understanding of Mithya in a moment which is extremely otherwise was difficult for even an average individual, a situation that can topple a person, if your knowledge is firm there, you will be able to graze through that situation with very little affectation. You realize it is temporary. Very good. Correct, Neetuji. You will realize that it is temporary. It will not make you vyakul or excited. Correct. Why? Because if you do not understand Mithya, if you just, very soon like Tattvabodha, we have forgotten most of it. Very soon this will be forgotten. The world has a continuity of reality for us. Is that being a student of Vedanta? Is that being a student of Bhagavad Gita, a student of Krishna? Unless and until these thoughts, this knowledge takes firmness in us. How does it take firmness? By constant repetition, by constant reflection, by constant understanding, by constant remembering. मिथ्या जब निश्चय हो जाता है, to that an extent samatvam बनता है. So, Sat and Asat. Atma is Sat. That has to be clearly understood. So far, everything okay? So then we will now continue.
Tiji, samatvam is
Maintaining equanimity of the mind. Sam mein rehna. Samatva mein rehna is samatvam. The state of being same. Some in English is actually same. Same in pairs of opposites. Sukha, dukkha, shita, ushna.
right.
So it has more to do with developing vairagyam, Deepti ji.
What has more to do with developing
Like
vairagya?
when you are saying when it comes to you said that it also helps you develop vairagyam when you are trying to assign the right value to the right thing, and probably even in relation it does not impact you too much.
Excellent. Yes, very good. So what really is the advantage of mithya nishchaya? When you start giving it the right value to things as they are, you will develop this withdrawal, this vairagyam, excessive harboring of things and people. You develop a vairagyam from it. Very good. Yes. Correct. Okay.
Deepti ji, samatvam and titiksha are almost the same, or titiksha leads to samatvam?
Titiksha leads to samatvam. And samatvam will help build titiksha.
They reinforce each other mutually.
They will reinforce, but the starting practice will have to be titiksha. Then they will become help. Other qualities will also start getting added. Here in the context, he is talking of titiksha, but there are other qualities, samadama, etc. Okay, so now we finished. Avinashi tu tat vidhi. No, now you know what is Atma. Once again, this Atma is Avinashi. This is Sat. Know it. By which all this is pervaded. Vinasham avyayasya asya na kashchit kartum arhati. He said, there is no possibility of anyone, even Ishvara cannot destroy it, because it is ekarasam. It is only one. There is no parts. There is nothing other. In the Laukik sense, it is almost impossible to give an example, and the closest is only space. Can you destroy space? Let's start from the gross. पीटते हैं हम space को. Let's whip it. मारते हैं. Let's whiplash space. हम कहते हैं ना हवा में मार रहा है. What is हवा में मारना? You are just throwing action. Nothing is happening to the space. Okay, let's burn space. Let's burn space. Anything going to happen to space? Let's wet it. There are floods so many places on planet at the moment also. Is And is the space getting wet? No. Let's have storms. Storms, what are those tornadoes? Is the space getting affected? Why? Because just as yesterday we saw, even if there is a ghata, the wall of the ghata is not dividing the space. The entire ghata itself is in space. But it is not demarcated by the ghata. Because space does not have parts. Parts means there is no division. There is no other. For it to displace, Vyaya means change lana. It must have another state. What is Atma? It pervades even space. That means space will accommodate everything and remain unaffected. But space by itself is not self-existent. अपने आप से उसका सिद्धता नहीं होती. वो सिद्ध नहीं है अपने आप से. Space cannot prove itself that it is there. But I am proving myself that I am here. This is a subtle point. Can space prove itself, assert itself? मैं हूं. But I am proving myself, मैं हूं. That assertion of one's being, who is able to do? That in whom the whole space is an experience, for whom space is an experience. Does space experience me or I experience the space?
I experience the space.
Space doesn't इतनी हमको बड़ी दिखती है. When you look up the sky, especially when you go to hill stations and you see so many stars, it's so fascinating. ये सब इतना बड़ा आकाश. In the daytime, you do not recognize its magnitude, its expansiveness. But at night, you can see on a clear place. You see and you say, it's such a huge. And you say it's incomprehensible. I don't know where it starts and where it ends. Yet, space exists for me. I don't exist for space. That जिसका व्यय नहीं है, वही अविनाशी रह सकता है. Nothing can destroy it. Because everything else is a karyam from it. It's an effect. वो सर्व का कारण है. It is a cause of all. स्वतः सिद्ध है. It pervades all. व्याप्त है. As poem you can say, and poets write that. कण कण में क्या है? When we say kan kan mein, we think it's outside. That kan is outside, and usme, that becomes another darshana. Kan kan mein means it's spread through everything. It inheres everything. What inheres here inheres exactly like pot space and total space. Ghatakasha, chitakasha. It is same. There is just a nama bheda. That consciousness, that Atma is the right word, that Atma which is a Sarva Anubhavi. Nobody can destroy it. Nothing can destroy it. Even Ishvara can't. Can anybody answer why Ishvara can't? Clue is go back to Tattvabodh.
It's part of him. There is no difference.
Okay? Correct. There is no difference. Was the second step. Before that? Maya Upadhi
Ishvara is also Maya. So.
Maya Upadhi San Ishvara. In the very first stages of creation, Ishvara is a creation. The first creation. From Ishvara with Maya Upadhi is all this Sukshma Sharira, Sukshma Panchamahabhut, Sola Panchamahabhut, Sukshma Sharira, Sola Sharira. Ishvara itself is Karya. What is Karana?
Brahman.
So Brahman is a Karanam. Karya cannot destroy Karanam. Can pot destroy clay?
No.
Can ornament melt gold?
No.
Karyam, it's a principle. Whatever is a Karyam cannot destroy its Karanam. This is how you identify which is a Karyam, which is a Karanam. Karanam means cause. Karyam means effect, produce. Whatever is in the effect which has come about, it cannot destroy from where it has come. Therefore, now the whole vichar is going to be presented once again. In the 18th verse, he says, Antavanta ime dehaha nityasya uktaha sharirinaha anashinaha aprameyasya tasmat, therefore, whenever there is a tasmat, because that word is a very easily recognizable word. Tasmat. Tasmat is therefore. It's a conclusion. Conclusion means the whole vichar has happened just before. You have to find out where the main pratigya vakyam started, and then there will be reasons, and then there is conclusion. Tasmat, therefore, what? Yudhyasva Bharata. O Bharat, O son of this great lineage. Arjuna, Yudhyasva, you fight. You should fight is a literal translation. We'll come to it. If Bhashyam was not there, the explanation of this will be, Bhagwan is already telling Arjuna, he's mandating Arjuna, you should fight. But thanks to Bhashyam, we are able to avoid that flaw. Appears to be saying, Bhagwan is appearing to be saying, therefore you should fight. Why therefore? 16th, 17th and now 18th verse. Antavanta ime dehaha. Ime, these, all these. Dehaha, plural. All these bodies. Sabka sharir. Antavantaha is subject to having an end. अंत होना. इन सब शरीरों का अंत होना निश्चय है. How? He gives here the beautiful meaning, which opens the word antavantah. Antah vinashah vidyate yesham te. Yesham, those. Te, all those, referring to the plural. Vidyate, hai. Kya hai? Vinash. Antah word means vinashah. Vidyate. The end means destruction. That is called Antavantaha. What nature of destruction? And this is very beautiful. It's an eye-opening again. Eye-opener here. Yatha, just as. How are these bodies going to be destroyed? What is our perception of destruction before I go into the Bhashyam explanation? On death, what do we think is happening to the body? Of course, from our culture, we know when you do the Antam Sanskar, what has happened to the body?
Gone back to the elements.
Gone back to the elements. What is our idea of destruction? It is destroyed. It's gone back to the elements. There is nothing there. The jiva cannot be seen back into the body is not there. So you don't see the jiva at all. There is no locus for the jiva expression. He says, Antavanta in what form? And these examples you should tie a knot to your antakaranam, to your soul. Mrik Trishna Trishnikadau Sat Buddhihi Anuvritta Pramana Nirupana Ante Vichhidyate. How? Mrik Trishnika Adav. Yesterday also we saw this. The Sat Buddhi, the reality that you see in the water on a mirage, एक reality दिख रही है. But on examination, प्रमाण निरूपणान्ते, जब उसको प्रमाण से प्रॉपर वैलिड मीन्स से एग्जामिन करते हो, विच्छिद्यते, उसको अलग अलग करते हो, सत बुद्धि की जो कंटिन्यूटी है, like yesterday I was saying, you go there close, you see there's no water, but that water gets extended further off. Now you see water there. There is a continuity of the reality of water being seen on a sand in a mirage. उसका अंत हो जाता है when you examine it. किसका अंत हुआ? Water. The perception of the real water that you have in a mirage, when you examine it correctly, logically, with the right means of questioning, arriving with the proper causative links, निरूपण हो जाता है. There is no water. Water अंत हो गया. That is called विनाशः. पानी का विनाश हो गया, क्योंकि था ही नहीं. In the same way, tatha. Again, you start identifying these things in the Bhashyam. Yatha, just as. Mrik Trishnikado, Sat Buddhi, Anuvritta, continuity of Sat Buddhi, real, in the mirage water, Pramana Nirupanante Vichitya, on examination, has got negated, destroyed. Saha Tasya Antaha, that is called Antaha. It's a very big learning. Tatha, this is the learning now. Tatha, in the same way, Ime Dehaha, all these bodies, including
Us.
here, this body, all these bodies, what is it? He says, Swapna Maya Dehadivat Antavantaha. Swapna, two examples he gives. What happens to your dream body on waking up? Anta.
Disappears.
That destroyed means that ended. That ending is the destruction. It just ended because it was an image. It was a projection. A projection ended. Just as in the dream, when you wake up, the dream body ended. Uska vinash ho gaya. In that sense, you say uska vinash ho gaya. The arth is, the meaning is, it has come to an end. Or Maya Dehadivat. Maya Dehadi is like how magicians play with the body. Suddenly a body appears from nowhere or suddenly it disappears. A magician's body. That Maya here means a magician's body. Who knows that this is a unreal, mithya in that sense, not a real body? The magician knows what he's doing. He creates and then he knows that it is just a magic. He's making an illusion, projection. Anta hoga uska. For whom is that ant? He says the sharira vataha. Sharirinaha. Nityasya sharirinaha. This nitya shariri, the one who is owning up, who is here in the sharir, usko shariri कहते हैं. The embodied being in English is the closest meaning. शरीर को धारण करने वाला शरीरी. That shariri, what is this nature of shariri? Nityasya, is nitya. For that nitya shariri, the body is like what?
Like it's going to get destroyed like that body in that dream.
Excellent. Very good. Who is the shariri?
The Atma.
Excellent. For this Atma, and go back to the definition we saw, the one who's dharan kar raha hai, what we've just read, apnoti, atti, who's now residing as if in the body, as if is the word, who seems to have a locus in the body, sharir ko enliven kar raha hai. Because of the Atma, there is this enlivening of the body. That enlivener, उसके लिए शरीर का क्या हो रहा है? It is swapnavat. It will end like that. Death is an end like that. Correct. For the shariri, nitya hai shariri. Anashinaha aprameyasya. It cannot be destroyed and it is aprameya. It cannot become an object of your thought. आप जान नहीं सकते उसके बारे में. So whatever you know about Atma is all objective knowledge, is all mithya. Because Atma cannot be objectified.
दीप्ति जी, अप्रमेय मीन्स हम उसको जान नहीं सकते.
हाँ, जो आपके प्रमा का विषय नहीं है.
आपके प्रमा का विषय नहीं है.
And what is prama? Knowledge. Thought. You cannot measure it. You cannot know it as an object of your thought. Like we said yesterday, if you have a pen, who is the knower of the pen? Say individual, of course, you will say individual. But what is the knowledge? Pen is the prama. Object is pen, object. विषय है ये. इसके बारे में जानते हो. कैसे जानते हो? You've employed your praman. Valid means eyes. So praman hai, prameya hai. Prameya is this to be known. Prama hai, pen, knowledge. Aprameya means you cannot know it like you know a pen, because it is not an object of your senses, like we started from the beginning. इंद्रिय बाहर की तरफ है, अंदर का नहीं जानती. जो व्याप्त है उसको जान नहीं सकती, बिकॉज इंद्रिय कार्य है, कारण नहीं है. Can it be experienced? What can be experienced?
Deepti ji, what about the knowledge that is being given out? Wasn't it experienced by someone, and that is why we are able to understand Atma, at least know the Lakshana of Atma?
I'm not sure I understood. What do you mean by knowledge given out?
Like, for example, Ramana, right? He wrote about how, what is Atma, right? So I am trying to, so if we cannot see, we cannot experience it, but there are lakshanas that they have explained to us about. I know it's their experience, not ours, but at least there is a way ahead to get there, right?
Right. But it is, when they explain it, as you have already said yourself, they're explaining it through Lakshana, not like an object. This is it. And I'll recorrect the statement. I just corrected Priyanka. We all have this idea that Atma is not here. A question is also again asked. Atma is already an experience. You cannot say, I do not experience it. I am experiencing it now. Atma is here. Otherwise, if you say I cannot experience it, it becomes what? What is the flaw then?
Then it's not Atma. It cannot be Atma. Then it's
Why?
Asat.
Why? Because it will be then, I'll experience it at a later period of time. Sometime when I grow, when I get knowledge, that means that time your Atma will start. That means it will be temporary. Atma is here now. That is why they can teach to remove. In fact, he's going to say it here also. The same question will be answered somewhere here, I think. Why then study? If it is aprameya, I think here only it should come. In the context of aprameya only it should come. Why? Then how does the study help if it cannot be known at all? All that the Shastra does is that all that anatma that we have called real, Shastra is removing that buddhi. So what remains real, what is real gets revealed. Is that clear?
Yes, Deepti ji, like a wrapper in a toffee.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think I have also highlighted it. Shastram tu antyam pramanam. What is because here Purva Paksha will also say something like that. That even if you say it's aprameya, at least the scripture talks about it. Exactly your question, Divya. If you may say Ramana, but scripture is also giving us Atma Vidya. Ramana is giving us Atma. They're all trying to help mankind by giving us this knowledge. Is that not a Vishay also? How can you then say it's aprameya? Shastram is antya pramanam. But how does it work? It works as atat dharma. What is not Atma? Atat dharma. Uska opposite dharma wala. Adhyaropana matra. What we have imposed upon Atma. What is not Atma and we are imposing it as Atma. Nivartakatvena. Only for the sake of its removal. Atmanaha pratipadyate. Pramanyam. The praman of Shastra is, it only removes this wrong identification of reality that we have. Incorrect placement of reality that we have placed on objects and people and the world as Sat today, which is actually Mithya. All that it does is, it corrects that. Because why are we imposing it? Ajnanartha Jnapakatvena. Because only a vishay of ajnanam, not knowing what is real. Is that clear? Because I think I'm... So how does it help? It is aprameya. This is a very beautiful word. Na prameyasya. It cannot be known. We really don't need to do anything. We just have to focus on what Shankara is writing. See, pratyakshadi pramanaihi. Pratyakshadi pramana is all your sense organs. Aparichedasya iti arthaha. They cannot be known by your pratyaksham. That is the meaning of aprameya. Clear, Divya?
Ji Deepti ji.
So Shastra is useful, but it will not, like how I do not know where Timbuktu is. And a travel guide gives me all the details. When he gives me the details, I follow it and then I arrive at Timbuktu. But all the details that he has given are all topics of senses. I haven't yet experienced Timbuktu. I want to go. I just have a desire. मुझे जाना है. The travel agent gives me all the details and then I follow them. By following those details, suddenly I come to Timbuktu and I say, I've landed. Where am I? I am in Timbuktu. प्रमाण का विषय है ये. कौन सा प्रमाण? प्रत्यक्षादि प्रमाण. When Shastra gives us Atma Vidya, that Atma, when you know, will never be the Vishay of senses. Swata Siddh Atma. All that is happening is, whatever you have imposed as I am tall, I am short, I am thin, I am not thin, I am good, I am not good, I am cruel to the core, I am unkind, I'm not generous, I'm stupid, Bevakuf, I am a Hindu, I'm a scientist, I'm a female, I am a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I am a wife, I am a sibling, I have, what are these? Crow. I keep forgetting. Crow's feet. I have crow's feet. I have wrinkles. I don't have wrinkles. I have gray hair. I have black hair. I have short hair. I have long hair. I have such a mother. I have such a partner. I have so many children. I want to do this. I have this education. I'm a doctor. I am this. I am. All this is Aropan on Atma.
DPG, I remember.
Let me finish. All this is Aropan on Atma. What is Shastra Vidya doing?
Remove.
How? In one category. Neti. In one word. If you are able to understand all this is Mithya, that Shastra is able to help us because we are the ones who are imposing it. We are calling it real. I am a wife to so and so, I am a daughter to so and so. It is a sense of reality for me. Not that the Vyavaharik sense will change. It doesn't change a Vyavaharik fact. Nobody's asking us that when you know Atma Vidya, you will, my parents will disappear, my husband will disappear, my house will disappear, my siblings are सब शून्य हो जाएगा, सब गायब हो जाएंगे when I get Atma Vidya. All that has done is asat buddhi, is an aropan, is an imposition. Atat dharmya, which is absolutely opposite dharma of Atma. What is Atma now? Atma is Sat. And what is Sat? All the Lakshanas now, 16, 17, 18, you should be able to say. And I am mentioning it as an extra caution or extra pointer. Never forget these verses. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Memorize them. So deeply कि उठते बैठते जागते, we should be able to repeat them. It should be so firm to us. Now what is Atma? If you have to say this is Sat, all that was Aropan, what all from here? It is ever there. Vidyate. It is Avinashi. It is Sarvam. It is Sarvam also, and Sarvam Idam Tatam also. It is Avyaya. Nothing can change it. It is Nityaha. It is Anashi of the previous is Avinashi of the previous is Anashi here. It is Aprameya. That Atma, which is Sat, to that standpoint of Atma, what is the ending of Sharira? शरीर को मरना क्या कहते हैं? स्वप्न देह में जैसे शरीर मरा. उसमें मरा क्या शरीर? मैजिशियन का बॉडी क्या मरा?
वो था ही नहीं.
आकाश में जो आपने फूल देखा मरा? When the cloud changed its formation, the flower disappeared. Adarshanam. Nashaha word was adarshanam. बस दिख नहीं रहा. That is called Nashaha in Vedanta. So, aprameya pratyakshadi aparichana. Yeah, now what were you saying?
Ji, in fact, when we had done Tattva Bodha, when we did Pancha Koshas, that time you made us do this exercise of saying that all of these things and then identify which kosh that they came from.
Right.
That was
absolutely
very pertinent. That was very interesting. And
correct.
very insightful.
A similar one I was thinking, but could you remember? I had forgotten that. Could you remind it? Yes. In the koshas, all this is Aropanam. Now in this, that's why if you keep all the texts simultaneous in your mind, as once again a reminder, not only the Parayanam of this, your Tattva Bodha, your Upadesha Sar, the verses should be there. Then you will start forming the complete picture. Because otherwise they are like different. This is one drishti. Vedanta is eka vision, one drishti. Okay?
But Dipti ji, when we say all of these things, I am a daughter, I am a mother, I have black hair, I have white, all of those things. And like you said, व्यवहारिक दृष्टि से कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. जो मेरी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हैं वो रहेंगी, जो मेरी रिलेशनशिप्स हैं वो रहेंगी, लेकिन आत्मा की दृष्टि से इन सबका कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. नो मैटर व्हाट माय रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज आर. तो व्यवहारिक रूप में वो सब रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज पूरी करनी है, जैसे अर्जुन को लड़ना है. एंड आत्मा के सेंस से इन सब का कोई कुछ नहीं है.
करेक्ट. और क्यों लड़ना है is the point. You can't forget this. As you move on, you will realize व्यवहारिक दृष्टि से जो करना है वो क्यों करना है. किस नजरिए से करना है. If आत्मा की दृष्टि से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, and that's really is a fact, it's very difficult to make people even vyavaharically appreciate. It matters nothing in creation. You have more or you have less. You have better or you don't have better. It is a changing cycle. That's it. आज अच्छा है, कल हो ना हो, you just don't know. Why should you be on कर्तव्य? Why is it important? Because अगर आपकी आत्मा की दृष्टि है ही नहीं अभी, I just finished that slide. We said if you do not do mithya nishchaya, then samsara is real. And a karan it becomes a cause for the samsara gati, as we have seen in another context. Starting of Gita also we saw.
Also, दीप्ति जी, we may say कि व्यवहार में फर्क नहीं पड़ता, लेकिन बहुत फर्क पड़ता है. Your thinking takes a 360-degree turn. Like, you know, I have experienced it my own. God has been kind, but yes, I have seen the change, and yes, it does have a very good influence on Vyavahar also.
Wonderful. When she said it doesn't make a difference, she meant in a different spirit though, but absolutely excellent. God bless. Wonderful. True. That is why we are studying it, because the right thinking will change everything. It has to, in fact, the influence of the right thinking is so much, and it changes your environment. Only right thinking can change your environment. सोच अगर आपकी सही है तो आपकी जगत मैनिफेस्ट वैसे ही है जैसे आपकी सोच है. एंड दैट सोच को सही कहने वाली चीज क्या है? दैट इज विद्या. हाउ विल यू नो दैट योर थिंकिंग इज राइट और नॉट? एवरीबडी सेज आई एम राइट. From their perspective. Okay, so far. So we'll just continue last bit left, because what is now very, very important to be addressed is,
Deepti ji,
I think,
can you just, if not today, can you just explain this last bit again where you said, before Divya pointed out, where you said sansar gati, कि हम अभी हमने मिथ्या दृष्टि नहीं करी, and which is why हम
I will not repeat this for you. I will not repeat, because you are not doing any of your written work. You requested it and you did not. See, all of the others know it because they've done it. You have not gone back to it. I will repeat it, of course, but you must go back yourself. But it's so much in details we've done in the Gita introduction. But we'll repeat it. Definitely in another context, it will come anyway. So keep it as a mark in yourself. It is a very important part. Does anybody feel you do not know it other than her? पूरा संसार का cycle, avidya, kama, karma.
Yeah, that cycle I remember. But I thought कि आप कुछ और explanation दे रहे हैं about अच्छा, so that I remember, that I know. वो हमने जब हमने उपदेश सार किया था तो भी बहुत डिटेल में किया था कि कर्म and then फल and then
that is a samsara cycle.
हाँ जी. So we need to do karma because a few karma, it's like a kartavya, and you need to.
If you do not do it in the right way, you are perpetuating the cycle.
Right. And कभी ना कभी उसको करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि वो
सही. तो अगर आपको कुछ भी बदलाव बेटर के लिए चाहिए तो आपको यहीं से बदलना पड़ेगा ना, अपने से.
It's Ishwar Arpitam, right?
Yeah, Ishwar Arpitam.
So next, yeah, correct. So the whole of third chapter, in fact, now next few verses के बाद he will start on that now. Now, what is he on till 21st verse specially? He is on giving you Saptarshan. Once the Saptarshan is established who you are and what is the wise one. Goal kya hai? What is wise one's drishti becomes our goal.
Become Tattvadarshi.
It's like that light, North Pole star, North Star. We have set the direction. That understanding is now clear. Now, how will we approach it? That later part. So, in the Gita, study, because it's 700 verses, it's not a short text, you have to go step by step. You can't expect that at this step, everything is going to get added. You'll have to take that step, understand it complete, then the next step starts, understand that complete, and it goes on like that, topic by topic. It will keep getting clearer, and then mix ho jayega. Now, tasmat yudhyasva bharata. As I said before, it looks as if now Krishna is concluded. And if the Bhashyam study was not our support, definitely in just a Moolam class, it could have been passed away by giving a fantastic oration over here. Therefore, Krishna has now concluded to tell Arjuna, you should fight. Get up. Arjuna has collapsed. Arjuna's arms are trembling. And get up and you, as if Krishna is telling Arjuna, you fight. And what is the praman? The verse. Tasmat yudhyasva. Therefore you fight. Why? And the reason seems to have been given by Arjuna. If you just take it literally, is given by Krishna to Arjuna, literally is because bodies anyway have to die, so you kill. ये कोई logic है? Just because bodies have to die, therefore you kill, therefore you fight. That's not what he says. So Shankara knows this error will come, so he clarifies this. He says, when he says yudhyasva, it is only anuvada matram, na vidhihi. Ye vidhi nahi hai. Krishna is not taking the advantage of him. Arjuna has said, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam, and Krishna has to now fulfill his vow that he has come as an avatar. So Krishna uses that opportunity and therefore tells Arjuna, all these dharmis I have to kill anyway, so you kill now. Because anyway I have to kill them. So if you don't, I'll pick up some other nimitta and I'll tell them to. It's not a vidhi. Krishna is not giving a vidhi. And it's a very important thing to be noted. Everybody finds faults in our scriptures because of half understanding, incomplete sentence understanding. It is not a vidhi. Then what is it? Anuvada matram. And what does anuvada matram means? Arjuna had already come prepared. Listen to this very carefully. ये हमारे रोज की स्थिति है. Arjuna had already come prepared for the war. He was clear he wanted to fight. He was, in his mind, no confusion at all. And then, Shoka Moha Adi overpowered, and he lost his sense of his own direction. So he wanted to actually engage in the war. Anuvad means allowing him to do what he wanted to do by removing the doubt that had entertained, that he entertained. शोक मोह होके जो उसमें संशय आ गया था, all that Krishna did was, he's giving his jnana, rationality, so that the doubt is gone and he is able to come back to his own dharma that Arjuna himself knew. Anuvad means restating what is already known. Restating what is already known. Supposing I say you have one pair of eyes. आपने मुझे बना दिया, so I'm taking the stand of a guru, of a teacher, and I'm now telling you, human beings have a pair of eyes. Human beings have a pair of eyes. What is this knowledge? Already known to you or not known to you? What is known to you already, and I repeat it, that becomes anuvad. Anuvad. वही बोलना जो आप जानते हो. And that is why a lot of teaching in the world is actually anuvad. Put in different words. Therefore you find, The actual teaching will take correction. Am I making sense? No?
Actual teaching will take correction.
Self correction. मतलब हम जो सोच रहे हैं, अगर हमारी ही बात को वैलिडेट कर रही है कोई बात, तो वो ठीक लग रही है हमको. Anuvad means just saying what I already know. What is pratipad? Pratipad means education. Finding the flaw in what I think I know and giving the right knowledge, that is called teaching. That is actually all this knowledge. It is pratipadana. So what is Krishna only doing? He is only doing anuvada to help Arjuna remove his grief-struck state of mind. Yudhyasva Bharata is reinforcing to Arjuna, reminding him of his own intention, of his own dharma that he was prepared for. Yudhyasva, that's why it's in brackets. Quote. Yudhyasva tasmat yudhyasva iti, in this manner, anuvada matram. And what did Arjuna wanted to do? He said he wanted to do yuddhat uparamam. So Krishna has concluded here to say yasmat, because evam, in this manner, nityaha avikriyaha atma. Atma is nitya and cannot be modified, cannot be changed, changeless there. That is Atma. Therefore, yudhyasva, yuddhat uparamam ma karshi. Do not skip, do not run away. Uparama, do not withdraw from your duty. Ma karshi, do not. Do not give up what you are supposed to do. Or do not give up what you ought to do. Okay? Tried my level best to try and do this. And then now he says, because Arjun has this huge sense of, I am killing them. Kartritva bhav, bhoktritva bhav. These are also aropitam on Atma, Jiva Drishti se. When there is a Jiva Drishti, we see ourselves as Karta and Bhokta, and that is now getting addressed in the 19th verse. Okay?
I am a little confused. I mean, I know this is Anuvad, but I mean, still Krishna has confirmed here already to Arjun that he should fight.
That is what the subtle difference in vision is. On actual word, it looks as if he has confirmed. But what is truly the process? The process that a teacher employs is not saying yes or no directly. Krishna is not doing that. The process is what is obstructing his natural flow of personality. उसी के डाउट ने उसका एक नेचुरल गति को रोक दिया. He is withdrawing because of that. Krishna is only addressing that. So by saying Yudhyasva, he's given the reasons to handle that obstacle that has surfaced by his own self.
So basically, he's
So
just
it's not a
giving.
direct, sorry?
So Krishna is just giving like a counter explanation to all the verses in chapter 1 that
Correct.
Arjuna was saying.
Excellent. Yeah. He's giving the reasons why Arjuna's thinking is wrong. Therefore, that correction will happen, and in fact, he will not say to another person, fight. Like I said before, to Uddhav, he did not say fight. ये तो पात्र ही ऐसा है, अर्जुन पात्र ही कर्म का है. तो जिसका प्रवृत्ति ही कर्म में है, और अगर वो कर्म छोड़ के बैठ जाए, so what Gita is really telling us is, finally, after 3-4 chapters, you will start to gather it clearly. Whatever is your natural inclination, you have to flow along with it and grow. You use that natural inclination in a field of respective activity or whatever is designed, but growing will be all from your internal change of thinking. Is that okay, everyone? So we will conclude. Next week we will do the next verse. All right, everyone. Thumbs up.
Deepti ji.
Deepti ji, this made so much sense. This is really insightful.
I'm glad. In fact, this is something that you go reflecting. It's fantastic, and it's good. It's a matter of reflection. And things will keep opening up then. So, आप करेंगे?
ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.
So, thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you
Deepti.
very much, Deepti ji. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hari Om Deepti. Thank you.
Hari Om Deepti ji.